Sorry.
Okay, Curtis. Okay.
All right, everybody, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. We are so appreciative. I'm Betty Follier, founder of ERA Minnesota. Dan Wellhite, president of ERA Minnesota. We're going to tag team this. I want to first of all thank Kieran Follier, distant relation. Very distant. For this place, for this space. I want to thank Katie Shepard for helping us organize it tonight. I want to thank our working group, the ERA Minnesota Working Group, for being here and being a point of the spear in Minnesota for the Equal Rights Amendment. So leading the state towards a more equal future.
All right, and I want to thank all the advocates because I know a lot of you are here and I've seen you at Capitol, I've seen you at other events. You show up, you want equal rights, so thank you for being here and for celebrating with us tonight because we shocked the system. Woo! The Equal Rights Amendment, we've been waiting a long time for this, but we are going to get this done. So thank you to our advocates and our partners. We've got many coalition partners that are here and have helped us along the way. So thank you, and we've got a good program here.
All right, okay, so I'm going to be brief. Before we bring up our Congresswoman, I want to just give you a quick update on the federal side, and then Suzanne will give a quick update on the state side, and then we will get into our guests. We are here to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Equal Rights Amendment. And we are here celebrating tonight the 175th anniversary of the first Women's Rights Convention in the United States. And we are here tonight to celebrate the fact that in the first time in 50 years, the Minnesota legislature voted on an equal rights resolution, and it passed through the Minnesota. You'll hear from the Congresswoman that we've got a new ERA caucus, and that there's all kinds of action that's happening on the federal level for the federal ERA right now. And we are the closest we have ever been to actually establishing equality in this country as we speak right today. So be proud of that. And we also are here to acknowledge that after we saw the devastating Dobbs decision of last year, it's more important than ever that we embed equal rights into our Constitution to ensure ongoing equality for all, and all means all.
Okay, Betty said celebrate, and I say elevate.
Yes.
Celebrate and elevate because we need to get the state Equal Rights Amendment on the ballot for the Minnesotans to vote on in 2024.
Yes.
So that's our, if you know what happened this last year, we got to the 90%, or my friend might say the 1 yard line. I'm not a football person, but we were very, very close, and we have a little more work to do, but it will be on the ballot in 2024. We have that assurance. And we're in phase 1 with strategic planning. We're working with United Strategies, who helped with the Vote No campaign, the ban for marriage amendment that was over 10 years ago. So we are setting ourselves up for success. We have partners that are involved at this point, and we will be moving forward. We got money from Planned Parenthood and the Women's Foundation of Minnesota to do this work. And we are expanding our partnership. So anybody that you know, any organizations, we want them involved. This is a statewide campaign, and it will take everyone. So you are the advocates, you're the partners, and we need more of them for the 2024 general ballot. That will be phase 2, and that's going to be some work, but we know we can win. So thank you.
Next, I'd like to bring up the senator of this district, and a person that we are so proud to be affiliated with for all that she got accomplished this year. Senator Carrie Dietzick, Majority Leader of the Minnesota House. Senator. Yeah, put it right up to your mouth. Yes.
Hi, everybody. Thank you all for being here. As Speaker Horman likes to say, you said you got to the 1 yard line. We're at halftime. It's a 2-year biennium, so we're at halftime. So we are winning right now. We still have more work to do. So thank you for being here tonight. You said celebrate and elevate, and I'll say organize. Yes. Because it's going to take us to organize, and we are going to have to organize. You mentioned the marriage amendment from 10 years ago, and that was defeated because we were able to organize. We got the word out. We talked to our neighbors, we talked to our relatives, we talked to our friends, not just your immediate close neighbors and friends, but anybody and everybody across the state, and that's what this is going to take. So thank you for being here. I want to thank the authors. Thank Nicole for being here. Scott Dibble was here earlier. We're committed in the Senate to getting this done, and we are going to continue to keep working on it, but we are going to need your help organizing and elevating this issue so that we can get it done. So thank you very much, and organize.
And next will be Representative Cindy Jordan to welcome you to the district. We're going to get new batteries here.
In the meantime, I'll just talk really loud. I used to be a cheerleader, and that really prepared me a lot for public office because I can really project. But anyway, my name is Sydney Jordan, and you are in my district, so welcome. I think Northeast Minneapolis is a great place to celebrate and elevate and organize around the ERA because in Northeast we have been celebrating and organizing and elevating all of our neighbors for many, many years. We are a place where many new Americans find their first home in Minneapolis, in the United States. And we've come together to make sure that everyone has a place in our community. And that's what the ERA is about. I think the ERA really started as a women's movement, as it should, and has its heart in elevating people who use she, her pronouns, like I do. But also the ERA has moved beyond that. And we know that we need equality for all genders. So that means women, but it means our trans relatives, it means our gender expansive relatives, and it means everyone in our community. And so I know that we are all going to make sure that we are centering all people in equality for all. So thank you for that. Thank you for being part of our Northeast community tonight. And I have the great honor of introducing someone who embodies so much about what I love about our community and our movement, our Congresswoman, Representative Ilhan Omar.
Hello, everyone. I am delighted to be here with you all, one in celebration and two to help elevate and to heed the call of our senator for us to organize, because it is going to take a lot of organizing in order for us to get this done. I want to love on Betty a little bit. I've known Betty now for a little over 10 years or so, and I don't think I've ever been in contact with her in conversation, in her presence, without the ERA being part of that conversation. And, you know, there are those people that you sort of kind of forget their name, and they become a cause. Betty has become the cause for getting the ERA done. And there are a lot of causes that people can take up, but when your cause is to try to make sure that there is true equality in our country, you are my friend. And so I consider Betty a friend and an ally and a sister and a mentor, and I am so glad that she continues to carry this forward. There are a couple of incredible things I think that that has happened that will be complementary to the work that's getting done here in Minnesota. As many of you know, I was one of the chief authors when I was in the Minnesota House with Senator Pappas in the Senate, and we gave it a shot. But I knew that one day it would be possible for what is happening today because of this trifecta. And I know that the work that we're trying to do in Congress is going to be possible because we are soon going to organize to get a trifecta to get it done. So the last time we were in the majority, we were able to pass legislation that got rid of the deadline for the ratification of the ERA. And I know that next time we are in the majority, we will hopefully do that in the House, in the Senate, and we will have a president that will be supportive of that. So I know that there is progress that is being made, and we are going to see through that progress. One of the other incredible things that has happened now is that my colleagues and my sisters in service, Ayanna Pressley of Massachusetts and Cori Bush of Missouri, have created an ERA caucus. And the caucus, to me, has three important mandates. One is to try to make sure the conversation stays present, that we are talking about the Equal Rights Amendment, that we are having conversations with people. The second is for us to organize our caucus, to organize the future leaders that will join us, and to make sure that we have that majority that's going to be ready to vote not only in the House, but in the Senate. And the third is to try to get ready. Because we know that day will happen, and we're gonna have to be ready. We know that this trifecta here in Minnesota would not have been successful in the couple of months that they were in session if they did not get ready before their trifecta was possible. Many of them knew what the checklist was. They were ready, and they got that checklist done. Things that should have taken 2 sessions to get done. I don't know what you all are going to do in the next session. But it's already exhausting looking at some of the things that you all have been able to do. And so that's part of our caucus's job, is to try to make sure that we are ready when that day comes. And so thank you all for being in this fight. Thank you for organizing, and thank you for believing in us to lead and get this done for you as well. So with that.
Change the age here. All right. So that you have it in front of you. There we go.
Thank you very much. My name is Curtis Johnson, and I am the ERA Minnesota State Policy Director, and I have to follow Congresswoman Omar, and that's not really fair. But I will do my best. I have the privilege of introducing two of our chief authors for our federal bill. Okay, and so that would be Senator Sandy Pappas. Please come on out.
Well, hello everybody. boldly declare to Congress that the two requirements, just two little requirements of Article 5 have been met, and we should boldly declare that the ERA is the law of the land. That said, I want to tell you that I am so incredibly honored, privileged, and proud to be serving in this legislature right now. We are the largest group of women in the House and Senate in history. We are also the most diverse of women in history. We literally stand on the shoulders of women who have come before us and all of the young generations that come next. And leading up to this session, I can tell you, I knocked door after door for hour after hour because I believe that we would never ever allow any young woman to have less rights than we have today. That is why we got to work in this legislative session, and we put diversity, we put equity at the center of everything we did. We passed reproductive freedom and bodily autonomy. We passed the ERA resolution.
Yes.
We passed protections for our LGBT and our trans friends and neighbors to make sure that could happen. And I want to tell you that it has always been my belief that representation matters. We need more women in the halls of government, and we do that because I can tell you that these women, these diverse group of women, that they understand the sting of oppression. They understand discrimination. They have felt it at their core. That is what makes them uniquely qualified. That is what makes all of you uniquely qualified to be the next round of champions for the ERA. And I want to tell you that it is that thing that I believe that this new expansive version of the ERA is going to cement all of the work we did this last session. For our trans brothers and sisters, for our women of color, no matter what race, no matter what ethnicity, no matter what religion you are, we don't care. Because quite frankly, this ERA, we need all of you as our champions, because we intend to boldly declare that Minnesota is a discrimination-free zone. And maybe one last thing. I want to hear it from you. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can and we will.
Kristen is so wonderful and so passionate that all I can say is what she said. And thank you all for all your hard work, for Betty and Suzanne and everyone on the committee, for Curtis. It's been a journey for many, many years. 50 years? Yeah. And we've been trying to get this passed, and we're so close to the finish line. I can hardly wait to go back in February and finish the job. But Kristen and I, we did our amendments. We're really, really excited we got that passed. And thank you, Ilhan, for all the work that you're doing on a national level. This just has to happen. Minnesota is an island now. Minnesota is a refuge. Minnesota is the place to come to if you want reproductive rights, if you want protection, anti-discrimination protection. We're going to do that on the ballot in 2024. Minnesota is the place to come. We have jobs. We have tons of jobs openings here at the state government. Please apply. We need you. No, it's just wonderful to be here with you all, and I hope that we'll continue our work and our journey into the next legislative session onto the ballot in 2024.
Hear, hear.
Okay, one more time. That was awesome, guys. Obviously, since I work on state policy, the people that I spend a lot of time texting, and they still answer my calls, so thank you. I would like to humbly request that Senator Kunish and Representative Burke. Come on.
Well, it's an absolute delight. I'm Senator Mary Kunish. I represent District 39, which is just a mile or so, a little bit north of here. And it is so heartening to see all of you here this evening and recognize the work that we have going forward. Yes, we were able to get that the federal side of the ERA done, but now we have to make sure that we codify that statement of everyone having the Equal Rights Amendment in our Constitution so that there is no more of this discrimination. And if it is, they all have a legal opportunity to address it. I think about the work that our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers, our mothers, our aunties have done over the last 50 or more years. And I really don't want that to be in vain. I think you've seen my little granddaughter toddling around down here. She's back there with Majority Leader babysitting. But I don't want her to have less rights than her mother has. I don't want that to happen. And I was so fortunate when I served in the Minnesota House to have passed this ERA off of the Minnesota House, and it got stalled in the Senate. Now I passed it off the floor in the Senate, and we got our House ready to take care of this in the next session. So this has a lot of meaning to me, and I recognize that every single one of you have a stake in this. Every one of you that have had pay raises that didn't match your male counterpart. Those of you that had opportunities removed because you're a woman. Those of you that didn't get the education you might have gotten because you are a woman or somebody that has been discriminated against. And as you've heard and as you've seen this session, we are on a trajectory. We are on an incredible trajectory. And with this ERA, when we pass this next year out of the House, it's just going to be like the cherry on the top, and I cannot wait to celebrate. I can't thank Betty enough for her persistence, her perseverance, and all of you that have been on this journey for so long. So thank you so much. We're going to have so much work to do coming up, and I know we can count on all of you, but make sure you're bringing along 2, 3, 4, 5 extra folks when we ask you to get out there and educate Minnesota again on how important it is that we codify this Equal Rights Amendment in our state constitution. So thank you so much.
Pointing out that I'm the one that dropped the ball on. No, thank you all for being here tonight. And the truth is that we fought really hard. I know I could not have asked for a better partner in this work than Senator Kunish. There were many times where she and I were like coming off of the floors in both of our chambers saying, okay, but what do we have to do next in order to get across the finish line? And who has to hear this? And I really appreciate your partnership. I know that a lot of you have questions, right, about what happened in that last 24 hours. I know I've had a couple of people call me and say, what happened? And what I can share with all of you, without sort of sharing our internal politics, is that the Minnesota House is very different than the Senate. We change people every 2 years. And we have new people coming in, and what we saw was that with the retirement of a huge group of representatives, we have 2 cohorts of representatives that one are new or that we were legislating in COVID, and we were just trying to keep the state going. And so a lot of them were learning ERA for the first time. And so I have been really committed and really hearing what our caucus had to say about why it's not that they don't support it, they absolutely supported it, but there was many things that they wanted to make sure that we were prepared to do. And so I have been very committed to this work, and Betty and I have already been working with our partners, and I see Megan from Gender Justice is here. Megan, can you raise your hand? Yes. And we're partners here in this work with us. Can you raise your hand if you're from another organization and you are partnering with us? Anybody else? And we are calling our partners together already right now to say, what do we need to do? Why is it that we are having all these questions, and do we need to work on the language some more? Do we need to bring certain partners on board? And we're being really inclusive and saying, we know that the pathways of feminism hasn't included LGBTQIA2S individuals. and it has not always been inclusive of women of color and people of color. And we understand that, and that this wave of feminism is saying we are more inclusive than we've ever been. But people out there might not know that. And so we have a lot of work to bring everyone along with us and saying that we are an inclusive movement right now. And I'm very hopeful for what we have to come next. I can share with all of you, because I think both Speaker Portman and also Majority Leader Long have said this publicly already, but they are committed that this will be one of our first bills that we pass in February. The fact that we still have more work to do, but we're going to get that work done, and that we are bringing everyone we need to along with us in this process, because this is not just about what we traditionally talked about ERA. If any of you watched sort of when I presented this bill, we know that in states where there is an equal rights clause in the Constitution, that people do better. All people do better. Women do better. They have better pay. They have better housing security. They have better economic security. They have better health outcomes. That our LGBTQIA communities actually do better within those communities. That small business owners that are women do better in these particular states. And the statistics tell us over and over again, this is unnecessary. It is unnecessary for every aspect of disparities that we've been looking for to solve with all the other bills that we carry. And so this needs to happen in order for us to ensure that our state joins those states in having the best environment for women and LGBTQ and people of color and all of those who have not been included in the past, for them all to thrive and do well. So thank you all for being in this fight with us. We have a lot to do, and we will be calling on all of you to help us to get this across the finish line. Thank you so much.
So I get the easy part. I'm just the wrap-up girl. My name's Kate Quinlan-Laird. I'm the Vice President of ERA Minnesota, and I just want to give a big thank you and shout out to all of our rock star chief authors and all the work they've done and all the support to advance equal rights in the state of Minnesota. I'd like to give a shout out to our volunteers tonight for helping put together this amazing event. You guys are amazing. So if you're here, put your hand up. Anyone in our working group is here, just put your hand up so that people can see you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And again, we've already mentioned our partner organizations, but we have really valued their willingness to engage with us on these issues and work with us to make sure that the best possible outcome is for everyone. So thank you so much for that. And I want to thank again the food building, the staff, Kieran. Thank you so much for inviting us here. It's been amazing. And then finally, I want to thank everyone here for coming tonight. Know that we will be reaching out to you to get you to show up again. I'm sorry, but we will. We need you here, and we need everybody here to participate in the ERA 2024 effort. It's going to be a really big boulder to push up the hill, and we'll need everybody's help. So thank you so much for being here to show that you're willing to be asked. And then my final thing is we're recognizing that it's the 100th year for the introduction of the ERA in celebration and also marking other moments. We have 3 of our own that had birthdays this week. Representative Hurd, and our own Curtis Johnson, and Ann Tracy, our fabulous person from Women's March Minnesota. So happy birthday. Join me in wishing them happy, and have some cake. We have it in the other room. Thanks so much.